translation of his work. So.
咁呢個可以講係一個緣啦。
Oh, it's a good, wonderful opportunity, wonderful situation.
Not 緣。Cause and effect. Maybe you can say it's a cause and effect.
So it's a cause and effect.
Yeah. 咁我就希望由咁開始，寧瑪派我所學嘅寧瑪派嘅 tradition 可以喺西方度傳播。
So he wished that this would be a wonderful starting point to spread the Nyingma teaching for his lineage of learning.
自顯現自解脱，我就諗起蓮花生大士所講嘅一個例啦。
So regarding natural appearance and natural liberation, it reminded Master Tam of an example from Pamasambhava.
蓮花生大士講嘅係一個人淨係望住個井，咁一個井嘅時候有隻烏鴉伏喺度，然後飛走咗，咁佢淨係見過個井水裏邊見個烏鴉影，咁因此佢就話有生有滅啦。
So in this particular story, Pamasambhava speak of a person looking into the well, and there's a crow flying over the well, and yet what?
Not over the well， 嗰隻烏鴉伏喺個井欄，當佢然後再飛走咗。
So the crow was sitting on the side of the well, and then the crow flew away. The image of the crow.
咁假如我哋係離開個井口去睇，咁我哋就唔會話嗰隻烏鴉係生係滅。
So if we step outside the well, we wouldn't think of living and dying.
咁我同時我仲更加由呢個例，我仲聯想到另外一個現象。
And from this particular example, Master Tam thinks of another phenomenon.
假如嗰隻烏鴉飛走咗，再飛返嚟嘅同時，一道彩虹照咗入個井裏邊，咁我哋睇井水嘅人就會話係一個神蹟啦。
So if the crow flew back in from after flying away, and yet at the same time there's a rainbow, and someone looking into this image may consider this as a miracle.
咁我哋就會去崇拜佢。
And we will actually idolize this based on what we've seen.
咁呢個就係世間嘅宗教啦。
And this is the worldly religion, what the basis of a worldly religion.
所以喺宗教裏邊有好多講係神蹟。
So in many worldly religion, there's a lot of description of miracles.
如果我哋唔睇井水，我哋見到一切係自顯現啫。
If we don't only focusing on the water, the well water, really all of they are all natural appearances.
假如我哋淨係望住個井水嘅時候，我哋就俾生滅嘅現象，俾神蹟綁住我哋啦。
And we can get easily caught up by the phenomenon of living and dying and what we consider as miracles. We get caught up in these phenomenon. 輪迴就係淨係望住井水嘅人，所以係受自己嘅心綁自己嘅人。So samsara is really about being bound by these images. 如果隻眼離開自己所望嘅地方，向個虛空去望，咁頭先所講嘅一切個自顯現就唔會綁到你啦。咁你就係自己解脱自己。And we can actually step outside to actually look outside the images of the well, then you get to be liberated. 咁呢個解脱實在真真正正係自己解脱嘅，因為冇人去幫你解脱。So this liberation is indeed natural. It's not anyone aiding you to the liberation. 咁我希望呢本書能夠令到人唔係淨係望嘅井水。
而係將對眼去望到廣大無邊嘅虛空。
So it's this Master Tam's wish that this book would be a starting point for people to look beyond and to be not bound by the images of the well.
好啦，我講完啦，多謝。
So,
Thank you for joining. Say something.
多謝晒。
Yeah.
My name is Scarborough Yunten Jatso, and I am the publisher of Master Tam's book. I'm very grateful and honored to have had the opportunity to participate in this project. When Professor Shu originally phoned me and said, we'd like to publish this book, are you able to help us? I said, yes, I'd be glad to. So as you can see there, I have a few other Buddhist books there that we publish. At my publishing company, we focus on Buddhism of all traditions, not just Nyingma, because we believe it's important to honor all of the traditions, not just one, and not to say that this is good and that's bad. And also, it's very important that Canadians understand that Buddhism is flourishing in Canada. So I really focus very much on Buddhism in Canada and Canadian Buddhist authors or books that have particular relevance to Canada. We also have a website called sumerubooks.com where we host a lot of news about Buddhism in Canada from coast to coast to coast, and another website called canadianbuddhism.info, which lists information about all of the 485 Buddhist organizations in Canada. So once again, thank you to Master Tam for writing this book, and I hope to participate in another 59 books with him if he's published 60 so far. And thank you very much for inviting me today.
Let me also say a few words about this. The original Chinese of this book was published more than 10 years ago. And soon after that publication, we already have the first draft of the English translation. Okay. But, well, to borrow a term from Ed, it wasn't really English translation, it was Chinglish translation. Okay. So that translation went through a few hands for revisions. Okay. And, you know, the final copy that I've got, you know, from my perspective is already quite good, you know, and I presented that translation to John for publication, and he was kind enough to introduce to me a very, very good and experienced copy editor, you know, to help me, you know, further polish the English. And when I talked to this copy editor, Sandra Monteith, okay, she told me that the first reaction when she read this translation was that, oh my God, wasn't nearly good enough for her to consider that as a publication. So she spent a lot of time going through the entire, you know, translation, word by word, line by line, okay, sentence by sentence. Okay. And when she completed the first edition of that, she'll email me back the copy, and I'll respond, you know, to the changes that she made. And every single chapter in this book will be going through a cycle like this 3 or 4 times at least before, you know, we have a finalized, you know, copy of that chapter. So it took, I guess, more than 7 or 8 months, you know, just for the copy editing to be done. Okay, and she's wonderful. She's very, very helpful. She's also a Buddhist practitioner. She reads a lot on Buddhism, so that's why she has the not only the skill, the language to help us polish the work, but also, you know, she can tell from the reader's perspective, you know, what works and what doesn't work. Okay, and when this is finally available, I am really glad, you know, to see this, you know, in a printed form. Okay, and as John said, this is the first start, okay, and there will be lots of other books that we can ask John for help in the near future, okay. And I actually have some books for John, okay, from our organization. Thank you, John, and Master Tam, please. First of all, this is the original Chinese of this book. I like Master Tam to present the book to John. And these are the 2 volumes of works published at Renmin University. It's called a monograph series in Sino-Tibetan Buddhism. It's an academic series. It's on a work called the Dhammadhammatta Vibhanga. In the 2nd volume of this, you'll find a commentary of Master Tam on this work. Okay. And also 2 other Chinese publications from our series, Nyingma series, where you can also find an English preface, to help you understand what they are. Okay. Okay. Thank you all for coming as well.